What is up, Nuggets? It's your boy, Killer Pizza, here with a brand new video for you rascals and rapscallions out there. Hopefully everybody's having a groovy Sunday, staying warm. I hope you guys enjoyed my Severin Films Black Friday sale unboxing I did yesterday. You know, the fun thing about unboxing videos is you only got one shot. And boy, do I think I shit the bed. You know, it wasn't that bad. I just think the least descriptive video ever. As you guys know, I am sick as a dog. It's been below zero all week in Michigan, so I just had to power through that one. I like the point where I was reading the description of one of the movies. I just gave up, not even halfway through. Like, I'm not reading this shit. But, you know, this video today will be a lot easier because I don't got to do any of that damn reading. We're just going to talk about movies, and I'm sure if you're watching that video, that's what you're here for, to talk about some good-ass movies. So, this idea is coming from when I did my complete horror movie collection video on the 1st of January, and some people were asking to see my whole collection, non-horror, which I did a week later. So if you haven't seen either one of those videos, be sure to check those out. But I asked some of the viewers, and you guys were saying you'd be a lot more interested in seeing some non-horror videos, which I love horror movies, obviously my favorite genre. That's what this whole channel is based on, but I love all film. So I'm going to try to talk about some non-horror flicks a little more. And this is my second version of Cult Classic Reviews. I have 7 movies that I watched recently that I'm just going to give my thoughts on, what I thought about them and what not. My thoughts on them, what I thought about them. I'm on a roll today. But anyways, if you guys like this format, let me know. If you would rather have me do individual reviews of each title, I can do that as well. It's still work in progress. Anyways, let's get right into it. So, this is one I was very excited for. I've heard about my whole life. One of my best friends always told me about this growing up, but I never seen it before. My first time watch of The Warriors. Now, first and foremost, I will say I think Arrow Video ran away with like the #1 spot in boutique labels this year, because I'm always going to be a Scream Factory guy at the bottom of my heart. But all these re-releases, the 4Ks look great, but it's the same old shit coming out, right? And then the packaging of like Vinegar Syndrome puts them at the top too, but they release a lot of stinkers, you know. So I think Arrow Video kind of meets in the middle, and that's what gives them the #1 spot, because not only are they releasing good films that haven't been out before, but the packaging is top notch. I really can't get enough of these chunky boxes. But when it comes to this movie itself, it was shot well. I like the atmosphere. The story is fun. I just thought this was a little slow and a little boring at times. It didn't really hit for me. I'm not saying I didn't like it. I think more so I expected to like love this movie. It really had a nice like set of like New York City. You know, I love older movies like Basket Case or Maniac, where it just makes New York City look so grimy and dangerous and whatnot. And there was a really good job of doing that. And, you know, just a lot of running in this movie. It was okay. It was fun. I really love the scene. It's so subtle. Like when the two couples are like getting on the subway train from prom and they look over at the Warriors after their long night, and they see it pans down to the girls like barefoot, muddy feet, and then they kind of think, okay, trouble's around the corner and they have to get out of the subway train and everything. It's weird that stands out to me, but I just like how that was shot and everything. This was just okay. It was good. I definitely rewatch it. I had fun with it, but I don't think it was like great or anything like others do. I was talking to my buddy Caesar Asher about this on the way to a Super Shogun Wrestling show last weekend. We were talking about this movie a little bit, and he had a good point that this would be a good remake. And I hate remakes with a passion, but I think this would be one film, whether you shot it back in the late 70s or 80s, or it was like more of a modern day take, I think this could be a fun remake. But either way, just okay. All right, next up is one I was pleasantly surprised with. I really, really like this movie. Wild Things on 4K. Once again, another Arrow Video chunky box. I never seen this movie. Growing up, it's almost like we would watch some of the most fucked up stuff growing up. Like, I just watched Demonic Toys last night, and it's not like that fucked up, but like the fact me and my sister were watching as little kids and like some of the goriest shit. I guess it's just like the nudity, like, you know, my mom didn't want us watching and everything, because I always heard rumors how dirty this movie was, and it's all about sex, really, about 2 girls that frame their counselor that they have a crush on, saying that he raped them when he didn't, and whatnot. But I'd say the sex was pretty tame. There was a couple sex scenes, but nothing too crazy. Maybe it's because my brains are mashed potatoes from watching all this exploitation movies over all the years. But I really enjoyed this. This looked absolutely amazing on 4K. I love the setting in like just hot and sweaty Florida, and I'm really like getting into movies from the late 90s, early 2000s over the last couple months. You know, I've always been like an 80s kind of guy, but I think it's just like a time capsule, you know. This is really dated for its time, which isn't a bad thing at all. But what this movie does good, and someone was telling me in the comments when I was opening this up or whatnot about all the twists in this movie, the last 30 minutes, twist after twist after twist, like to the point you could consider it overkill, but I didn't. I like a movie like that just kind of fucks with my head and everything. This was a great movie. I absolutely love it. 100% will go back and watch this movie. Loved it. Okay, now here is one somebody wanted me to review, and I did like my whole collection of non-horror, and this is one I was going to do a whole review on in itself, but I never got to it. You know, I've watched this maybe 3 months ago, and I just figured why not? Here's a chance for me to talk about it a little bit. Class of 1984. This movie was awesome. I don't know why I held off on getting this for so long, just thought it wouldn't be my thing, but I don't know why, you know, because it's a bunch of punk rock kids that are like in a gang, causing trouble in this school, and this new teacher that comes to the school has to try to, you know, deal with these kids, and it goes to the highest of extremes. When this first started out, it reminded me of like a trauma film, and I'm not the biggest fan of trauma movies, so I didn't know what to think, but it blended into this weird, like, exploitation, almost thriller, where this teacher is dealing with these kids, and the lead kid who looks just like MJF from AEW, which is kind of funny, like, he's a complete asshole. There's no redeeming qualities of any of these characters right here, and this shit goes so far to what these kids are doing to this teacher, to the point in the end with like the rape scene to his wife, like how far they went with this. That bothered me more than Last House on the Left. Like it was just gruesome, you know, the fact that she was pregnant and everything, and the revenge she ends up getting, you know, that shows how good of a movie it was. I wanted him to get more revenge on these kids, you know, and that ending scene to take out the final kid was pretty brutal. And there's a little funny twist at the end of like why he doesn't get in trouble for this and everything. But I would highly recommend anybody check this movie out. It's like, it's a weird movie where, like, not that it's comedic or anything, but it doesn't feel like it has this like super serious tone at times. But then when the movie's over, you think about it, I'm like, there was only really a couple times where there was comedy in this, and it just kind of built in a really good way. Just got more and more extreme, and the payoff was pretty good with the final kid, at least. This is a good one, man. You guys, if you like exploitation films, action, thrillers, great movie. This is one of a kind, I'll say that. All right. Now here is one I've seen. This is not a first time watch. I watched this all the time as a kid, but I completely forgot about this movie. I didn't know what happened at the end or anything. That is the new 4K of Clue. And let me show you guys something. I have to return this. You ever seen this before? I got two 4Ks. Which I don't need two 4Ks. I don't get the special features, damn it. But this movie, man, I was wondering, like, you ever watch a movie and you're like, how are they going to keep going with this, like, to buy the time? You know, it's just, you know, a play on the board game. All-star cast, and they just keep going with this after the original murder. I love the scene when they all split up into twos and everybody's so paranoid and they can't, like, let one person take a step. Like, when they're walking up the stairs at the same time, shoulder to shoulder, we'll go together. And I just can't say enough about this cast. And, like, this is like an old school, almost like Monty Python, in a way, like physical comedy. You know, oh, this was so good, man. Like, I can't put this over enough. All the trap doors and everything. Like, when the guy with the broke down car arrives, the door-to-door telegram singer, the cop and everything. They're just, and it gets so funny when they're trying to cover their tracks up because they're so fucking obvious and slapstick about it. And, you know, out of all the Tim Curry movies, this might be one of my absolute favorites at this point. When he reenacts the entire movie at the end when he's explaining who the killer is. And it is so charming and so good. At first, I was like, this is going to be annoying. But, like, round of applause for him just running back and forth to every room. And, like, he's reenacting every slap or punch. Like, oh, then he punched her. Pow, hits the guy and everything. Fucking hilarious shit, man. Tim Curry. I loved every character in this. This has become a new comfort movie for me. Like I said, this used to be on TV all the time as a kid, but I don't remember much of it. But after rewatching this, I feel like I could put this on any time. Like the subtle jokes of like him stepping in the dog shit, and everybody keeps bringing up, "Well, it smells like shit," or whatever. Hey, and you can't complain about the maid walking around how she was. That was pretty nice too, right? But this movie was awesome. I loved it. Now, here is one I rewatched for the first time in a while. 2 nights ago, I think. This is the 4K from Criterion of Menace to Society. Say that 5 times fast. Menace to Society. Not much to say about this one. We all know the story about this. Classic Hood movie. If you guys ever want me to talk about some Hood movies, I grew up watching that shit. I absolutely love them. My unpopular opinion to some, this is the greatest Hood movie of all time. Better than Boys in the Hood. More realistic. Very savage. Very brutal. It's got a nice little wraparound story at the end. Like a movie that ends sad but has a good message and everything. Yeah, very, very violent. Very fun, though. I love this movie. Fucking O-Dog, absolute menace to society. Yeah, I love Wax, man. Wax is one of my favorites in this movie. Gia. I love when they do like they go to get revenge on the dude that killed what the fuck's his name? Kane's cousin. And Wax comes around, hey homie, you need some help? Shoots him in the stomach and everything. Just a classic Hood movie, man. Honestly, don't get much better than this. And it looked pretty good. Criterion, though I kind of look at them as like a snobbish label, they put out good shit. Alright, and here is Beetlejuice. Say that 3 times fast, but be careful. Beetlejuice. Okay, Tim Burton. I am not the biggest fan of his movies. I think they're pretty weird. I'd say this and the Batman movies are maybe the only ones I really even like by him. But god damn it, I forgot how much I fucking love Beetlejuice. This is a movie I watched so many times growing up. This movie is absolutely amazing. I actually have the vinyl record from Waxwork Records coming in the mail around the 27th. So in a couple weeks, I will have an unboxing of that. But this is just such a out there and fun movie. The fact, the couple dies and they come back as ghosts and they're kind of in purgatory. And they're trying to get their house back from these, like, what seemed like hipsters back then. Winona Ryder, love her to death. She's amazing in this movie. The fact they, like, go to hell or whatever, the afterlife, and get the book for the dead. I haven't seen this movie in probably, like, almost 5 years. And there's certain stuff I picked up on I feel like I never did. This is just a great movie. Michael Keaton, Beetlejuice, right? Yeah. Don't want to get that wrong. Nobody could play him like that. And this actually got me pretty curious for, like, the sequel. Like, I'm ready for it, man. 'Cause sometimes I get mad about these sequels that come out, like, so many years later, decades later. But it's like, if we don't get it now, we'll never get it. Especially if we're having Michael Keaton back. But I will say, I don't like the release from Warner Brothers here because there's absolutely no special features. Come on, man. These major labels that put out this shit need to jump on the train a little bit, like with these boutique labels. You add more special features and commentaries, that's what we want, but I can't complain because this was one of the best 4K transfers I've seen in a while, and I think it has a lot to do with the colors. There's certain movies that are kind of more beneficial towards a 4K format, and this is one of them. Probably any of Tim Burton movies would look amazing in 4K, but this looked great. I had so much fun watching this movie. Absolutely amazing. And last but not least, this is actually a movie I only bought to get free shipping on something else I needed that didn't arrive on time that I got a refund on anyways. And that is the 4K of Pineapple Express. This movie's so much fun. I will bitch for one, the J card, what do you call it on the back? I've never seen one glued to the back of the case so bad. It fucked the whole thing up. And it's like, I might need a new case because I don't want to put like a sticky ass case next to my other movies, but I digress. Fucking amazing. This might be the best Seth Rogen movie. I absolutely love this one. Fucking hilarious. Fun story. I believe Seth Rogen and James Franco were supposed to play opposite characters, and when they were casting, they wanted to play the different characters. And I think it worked out way better. I will say, James Franco. It's funny. When did this come out? 2006. It's getting old now, but another time capsule movie of the time. And I'll say that is definitely how weed dealers were in my experience back then. Just like James Franco in this movie. And this is absolutely hilarious, man. Fucking Danny McBride. The scene when they're fighting in there. He's like, some friend, what did you say? Well, that's a damn shame, because I just so happen to be a really good friend. Or, chill out, man. Chill. I'm in a Komodo. You're in a suit. I'm more chill than you. In that fight scene, I like when you got kind of like, they're kind of playing up like dorks that don't know how to fight when they have a fight scene. Because it's like realistic. Sometimes you watch these movies and they're doing like kung fu fights. It's kind of refreshing sometimes to see people fight all sloppy, just falling through walls and doors and shit. Because that's honestly how fights are a lot of times. Just people falling into shit, just sloppy shit. But this is hilarious, man. I quote this movie to this day. Like when Danny McBride gives the whole speech, I know I've been a bad friend, but I'll cover for you guys. And they come in. it was those two. They went out the back door. You can hurry if you get them. Go, 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 go. Him eating noodles by the toilet, the Bone Thugs, Crossroads. Fucking hilarious, man. This is like, I can't put over enough like how much a character matters in a movie, because every person in this movie, their character is what makes this fucking shine. You know what I mean? You care for these people, and they're so fucking entertaining, man. And one of a kind movie, like a stoner comedy with like action in it. Like, what a fucking classic. I fucking love this movie. But anyways, those were my, I don't know if those were even reviews more than just rambles, but those are all the movies I wanted to talk about. Like I said, if you guys have any comments or suggestions on how you'd like to format this, if you like it this way, let me know. If you want me to do it a different way, any certain movies you want me to talk about, I am game to do that. But anyways, hopefully everybody is staying warm out there. Like I said, I'm repeating myself now. Oh, I'm sick as shit, guys. I need to just lay down and watch some damn movies. That's my plan. I'm not leaving the house until Monday. But either way, hopefully everybody's having a good one. Blood Guts Gore. I'll check you guys next time.